Let's learn how to play solo mode for trekking the national parks. Solo mode lets one person play the game alone against an artificial opponent. The rules are similar to a regular game of trekking the national parks, but there are several differences. It's best to first learn the base game by reading the rulebook or watching our How to Play video. Let's get started by setting up the game. First, place the map in the center of the table. Mix the stones into the bag, and then place one randomly on each park location across the map. Shuffle the Trek card deck and place it face down near the map. Then reveal the top 5 cards. Draw 2 Trek cards from the deck for your starting hand. Now select a difficulty card for your preferred level of play. The levels are easy, medium, hard, or extreme. To win solo mode, you have to complete all the tasks listed on your difficulty card. These tasks will include camping at a number of major parks, exploring a number of parks, and completing a number of stone goals. First, check how many major parks to use. Randomly select that number of major parks and place them face up near the map. Return the rest to the box. Next, check the number of park cards to use. This section will also show some golden arrowheads. This is telling you what victory point value each of the parks you select must be. So if you were playing easy difficulty, you would have to use 2 park cards. One would need to be worth 5 points, and the other would need to be worth 7 points. Place these face up near the map. Then return all the remaining park cards to the box. You will only need the ones listed on your difficulty card. Now check the number of stone goal cards you'll use. These cards are only used in solo mode and look like this. Randomly select the number you need and keep them in front of you with this side up. In solo mode, you'll play as the bear. Place it at the start location on the map. Then take the 3 black tents to use as your own and keep them near you. You won't be using the black trekker in solo mode, so it can be returned to the box. The trekkers act as your opponent in solo mode. Place the blue, yellow, green, and red trekkers at the start location. Then take all those colored tents and place them near the map. This is called the opponent's tent supply. Now, take the opponent card deck and shuffle it. The top of this deck will show a trekker on it. Place this deck near the opponent's supply, and then flip the top card face down to create a discard pile next to it. The discard pile reveals a location. Place the trekker shown on top of the deck at the location shown on the discard pile. Remove the stone at this location and place it near the opponent's tents. Stones placed here become part of their stone supply. Finally, take the solo mode reference card that looks like this and keep it near you. It will be handy for remembering some new rules. Now you're ready to play. Solo mode is played in turns that alternate between you, the bear, and your opponent, the trekkers. Remember, to win the game, you have to complete all the tasks on your difficulty card. And you have to do this before your opponent uses too many of their tents, but more on that later. You'll go first. On your turn, you'll take 2 actions, just like in a regular game, and your options are the same too. You can draw a trek card, move, explore a park, and camp at a major park. Also, like a regular game, if a trekker is blocking a route, you can't move through them. Now that we know what's the same, let's look at what things are different on your turn. If you land your bear on a location that a trekker is at, you get to send them back to the start location. Additionally, you get to draw 1 trek card from the top of the deck. Unlike a regular game, tents will sometimes appear on the map. You may move through tents, and you can also land on tents. If you land on one, discard it out of the game entirely. Do not return it to the opponent's tent supply. Then choose a reward. You can either draw 2 Trek cards from the top of the deck, or take 1 stone from the opponent's stone supply. Speaking of stones, collecting them works a little differently in solo mode. Whenever you collect a stone, check to see if you have any of that color stone showing on one of your stone goals. If you do, place it so it covers one of the printed stones on that card. Once you've covered all the printed stones on a goal card, it is completed. Discard the stones off the card and out of the game, and then flip the card to the bear side. This unlocks the card's special ability, which is now active for the rest of the game. These abilities can help your strategy, so take note of each one. In cases where you collect a stone, but there are no spots to place it on any of your stone goals, just discard the stone instead. Once you've completed your turn, it is now the opponent's turn. You will manage the opponent's actions for them by following these steps. First, flip the top card of the opponent's deck onto its discard pile to reveal a Trekker color and a location. Next, check to see if the Trekker shown on the top of the deck is currently at start. If they are, take them off start and move them to the revealed location. But what if that color Trekker isn't at start? In this case, you will not move the Trekker. Instead, you will take a tent of that same color from the opponent's supply and place it at the location. Note that when either a Trekker or a tent lands on a location with a stone, the stone is removed and added to the opponent's stone supply. Also, if either happen to land on the place your bear is currently at, it sends you back to start. The final step of the opponent's turn is to check if there are any card icons at the bottom of their location card. If so, this is telling you that you need to discard the face-up Trek cards shown in those positions. Then replenish the display. Now it's back to your turn. We've covered what you need to do to win the game. So now let's cover what might cause you to lose the game. Remember, if a Trekker you need to move isn't at start, you must place one of their tents at the location instead. This will slowly deplete the tents in their supply, and tents are never returned to this supply. So if you have to move a tent to a location, but there are no more tents of that color in the supply, you lose the game. This is why it's important to occasionally land on Trekkers and send them back to start. It prevents the tents from running out too quickly. The other ways you can lose are as follows. If the last card of the opponent's deck is flipped, or if it becomes impossible to complete your stone goals, you lose the game. So be sure to complete all the tasks on your difficulty card first, and you'll win. If you need further clarifications, be sure to check the solo mode rulebook. Now you're ready to play Trekking the National Parks solo mode.